That night, the 17th of March 2026, the sky above Kilauea transformed from silence to a dazzling spectacle of destruction in a matter of seconds. The darkness that usually shrouded the volcanic landscape was suddenly torn apart by a fiery red light emanating from the Earth's interior. As if dawn had been forced early, a giant lava plume pierced the night sky, creating a pulsing, vibrant curtain of fire. There was no warning, just a low rumble that suddenly turned into a thunderous roar. I was there not as a scientist, nor as a journalist, just a tourist enjoying a vacation. My camera was initially intended to capture the tranquil night scene, but in an instant, everything changed. The ground beneath my feet trembled subtly, like the deep breath of something immense and ancient. My instincts told me to retreat, but my eyes were glued to what was happening ahead. Then the eruption reached its peak. Lava shot some 1,500 feet into the air, a height unimaginable, even for an active volcano. The plume was not only tall, but also dense and powerful, like a column of fire defying gravity. Sparks of hot lava flew in all directions, falling back like a fiery meteor shower. Each spark carried light, heat, and menace. The resulting sound was no ordinary explosion. It was a deep, continuous rumble, like a giant waterfall crashing from an unseen height. The vibrations were felt in the chest, penetrating the body, creating an almost surreal sensation. Even from a safe distance, the sound was so powerful it made the air vibrate. I realized the sound could be heard for miles. Scientifically, this phenomenon is not without explanation. Kilauea is known as a shield volcano with relatively fluid basaltic magma. However, the pressure of trapped gases within the magma can create explosive eruptions when suddenly released. On that night, the combination of high pressure and open magma channels allowed lava to erupt with incredible force, producing towering lava fountains into the atmosphere. What made this event so extraordinary was the comparison with the legendary eruption of 1959. At that time, Kilauea also recorded one of the highest lava eruptions in its history. However, this 2026 event demonstrated that the volcano's volcanic activity is still capable of generating comparable energy even in constantly changing geological conditions. This wasn't just a repetition of history, it was a reminder that the Earth remains alive and dynamic. Visually, the scene is almost impossible to fully describe. The once dark sky turned a bright red-orange, with low clouds reflecting the light like giant mirrors. Shadows moved across the ground, dancing to the rhythm of the eruption. The heat was palpable even from a distance, creating quivering waves of air. Every second felt like a scene from an apocalyptic movie, yet it was real. Amidst it all, I felt a mixture of emotions that are hard to describe. Fear, of course, but also awe. There's something profoundly primal and primordial about witnessing such a force of nature. My camera kept rolling, even though my hands were shaking slightly. I knew what I saw that night was something rare, a moment not everyone gets the chance to witness firsthand. The surrounding environment also responded dramatically. Vegetation near the eruption area seemed to glow in a red light, while fine ash particles began to slowly fall. The air grew warmer, even a little heavy to breathe. It was a reminder that the beauty I was witnessing came with real risk, that behind this spectacle there was a force that could destroy. As the eruption slowly subsided, the light began to fade, and night returned to the sky. But the impression it left behind would not be easily erased. The footage I captured that night was only a small part of what actually happened. In episode 35, after I return from vacation, I will share the full footage and a more in-depth analysis of this extraordinary event, a moment when the Earth opened itself and we were reminded of its true power.